Welcome to the Proving Ground podcast. I'm John Zero, the Chief of Public Affairs at Dugway Proving Ground, and I will be your host for this episode. For more than 80 years, Dugway has been the U.S. Army's premier science facility in Utah for testing and evaluation. Dugway tests nearly all chem-bio protective equipment used by the DoD. During the Proving Ground podcast, we'll talk about a range of subjects relating to the Dugway mission, resident life, and even events people can attend. Dugway Proving Ground has around 2,500 civilian employees, contractors, and soldiers who work on post. It also has 300 to 400 full-time residents who live on site with a school and a daycare. In this episode, we'll talk about the Child Youth Services Program and ways that people can get involved in the April Sharp campaign, and we'll discuss Dugway's women's group. Now I'd like to introduce our guests. First, we have Morgan Hoover, the acting Child and Youth Services Coordinator. How long have you been here at Dugway?
Hi, I have been here for almost 2 years. I made the lovely commute from Hawaii. It has been fabulous being here, and I am, like you said, the current acting CYS coordinator, but my full title is CYS Facility Director.
Here from Hawaii?
Yes.
That's a big change.
It was. I love all the snow, though, so.
We also have Diane Singh, the Sharp Program Manager. Now, Diane, you came from a different climate as well.
Yes, I came from the other island called Alaska. Yes, I came from Alaska. And I was there for 23 years and retired out of the Alaska Army National Guard. And we moved to Utah and started this position, moved to Dugway out June 2021 and started the position with the Sharp program here in March 2022.
So this snow is no big deal for you.
No, but I don't like it.
We have one more guest, Command Sergeant Major Rawls.
Hi.
Sergeant Major, you're also from a unique place.
Yes, I'm born Jamaican, and yes, 82 degrees was our high, and probably 81 was the low. So, all of this cold we're talking about was not my thing. I wish I was in Hawaii. Probably more my thing. Small island, explore the ocean and eat all the food you can eat.
Sergeant Major, March is Women's History Month, and I found a few statistics here for the Army. As of a couple years ago, there were about 74,600 active duty women in the Army. So almost 75,000 active duty, which makes up about 15%. It's a growing trend. The recruitment for women is increasing, is what they're finding out. What kind of programs do we have here? We have some ways that women can get together here at Dugway.
Yes, so you mentioned, it's growing, right? The women in the service is growing, and that kind of linked to what we're trying to do here at Dugway, growing women in the workforce. Where Dugway ties into how we're helping women in the workforce, we have the DPG Women's Forum. We started that, I think we're coming on a year ago. We're probably shy of a month or two since we had our first event, which the first event was just to say, okay, what do you want to hear about in the workforce? What can we do for you? And
what kind of things have you guys covered in the meetings?
So they often talk about things that it can help the women to grow professionally on Dugway. So we talk about having a resume building class, resume writing class. So on the 20th of April, we're going to have a class called Get in the Interview. And that's about writing government type resume. You have the civilian and you have government type resume, and also to do interviews. Last week, we had a class on TSP. We had it on the 20th of February. And for anyone who is in the Women's Forum, if you go on there, it's a recorded class, and you can go on there and see the entire, I think it was almost 2 hours of talking about TSP, because we know we just sign up for TSP and some of us don't know where it goes from there, how to increase it and all that. And that discussion actually explained the TSP in great detail.
That's a great resource. How can people get involved? Is there any sort of requirement?
So if you want to be a part of the Women's Forum, if you're in process with HR on the Garrison or ATEC, if you just explain just ask the HR rep about the Women's Forum, and they'll email me your information, and I could just add you. Kim Closure for ATEC, she is at least Dugway, ATEC under Dugway. She is very involved in this whole process. Like, I don't know if it was her idea first or my idea first that we just then team up together and ran with, but she have a very important part in the whole thing, coming up with different topics that I may not be thinking of, or when we don't have topic from the group, she'll bring those up. But if they just talk to the HR or email me directly, my first name is Malvet. If you email me directly, I add you to the group, and then you just check your teams for the Women's Forum Teams link.
Sounds like you guys are having a great experience so far.
I would say so. I want to see participation improve. Like right now we have 196. The last class we only had 40. We recorded for the reason why, we have personnel who can't attend during that time, so we recorded for them, but I would love to see the participation improve. Some of it is word of mouth, and we just need people to keep talking about what they've learned. The other, we do have some people who don't have email address, especially contractors. They can always email me with a personal email address if they want to put that out, and that will add them that way.
Awesome. Well, other ways that people can get involved, there's some events here at Dugway. And Morgan, can you share some of those events going on?
Absolutely. So we're about to head into the month of April, which, as Command Sergeant Major mentioned, it is the month of the military child. And while we don't have a vast military, group here, we are still doing the same things that other large installations would do. So we're coming up with a month of just fun events for the community to come out and see a couple cool things. We'll have our annual opening ceremony will be on the 6th of April. We're also going to tie that into Easter. So we're going to do an egg drop that day where all the kids from the community can come out and, have a good time.
Where are they going to meet for that?
So that's going to be at the CYS building, 5124. We'll kind of have a bunch of stuff set out. It's either going to be in the parking lot in our backfield. We haven't quite finalized everything yet. And then obviously with all the snow we're having, it might have to be inside the gym. So we're flexible as it comes, but more information will follow out to the community shortly.
Stay tuned.
On all
They'll
of
get
these
more
events.
info.
Yes. After my opening ceremony, we're also going to do a very fun thing the next following Thursday. Will be a Wheels Up cookout. So my lovely Do is bringing out all of their cool vehicles that they have. Fire and police will also be there. And it will just be a bunch of different vehicles for the kids to check out, kind of climb through and see what's going on. We're going to have a cookout. So my boss, Gary, will be on the grill making some hot dogs for all the kids and families. And it will just be a fun day. That's going to be the day that we also celebrate Purple Up. So everyone can wear their purple, come out and see our little kids do their parade and walk around the community. And it'll be a good day.
And purple's going back to the month of the military child.
Yes. So purple is the, overarching color of Month of the Military Child.
So what other events are going on?
Our finals event of the month will be an ice cream sundae bar we're going to do for the closing ceremony. That will be on the 27th of April, and it will just be you come out for the community. We're going to do a fun ice cream social type event. You can come get some ice cream with your kids and hang out.
That sounds delicious.
Yes, well, I expect to see you there.
Absolutely. Dan, you going to show up, get some ice cream?
Yes, I have kids.
Yes, of course. You better be there.
They're going to love it. Now, Diane, you have some things going on. You have the April campaign for Sharp.
Yes.
Can you explain some of that for us?
So the April campaign is a Sexual Assault Awareness and Prevention Month campaign. It is a Department of the Army wide campaign, and it also falls in line with other civilian organizations that recognize April as Sexual Assault Awareness Month. We just call ours Sexual Assault Awareness and Prevention Month. And so this month we want to engage the community in awareness and what they can do to prevent sexual assault in their communities and here at Dugway. And so that's what the Sexual Assault Awareness campaign is. And do you want me to tell you about the events?
Yeah. What other events do you have going?
So for the month of April, We're going to start off with a kickoff event, which is going to be March 30th, and participants that are listening in can expect to see this again. So they'll be seeing it on the flyers and their email, and I'll be reminding Dugway as we approach that date. So the kickoff is March 30th, and that's from 11 to 1 p.m. at the community ballroom. And at that event, people can come and get a free t-shirt. They can sign a pledge, which it will give an opportunity to just commit to saying that they will speak up if they see any inappropriate behavior. There will also be an opportunity to sign up to win a backpack. But of course, they're going to have to listen to some kind of sharp message before they get their raffle ticket. But the point is just to get people engaged and walk away with a little bit more information and also awareness, and to look out for each other, take care of one another. So that's that at kickoff event. And then there'll be other opportunities to sign up for the backpack and sign the pledge at the commissary. I'll be there from April 3rd that week, and then the week of April 6th from the lunch hours, and then also at the end of the day when a lot of people, they stop by the grocery store after work. So I will be there, give them an opportunity to sign the pledge. And then I will also be at the community club here at English Village and Ditto Diner during the lunch hours the week of April 10th, the week of April 19th. I will be at either or those dining facilities to, again, give people an opportunity to sign the pledge and sign up for the backpack to win the backpack. Also, every Tuesday in the month of April is Teal Tuesday. This is an opportunity for individuals to just wear teal, just to show their support. And I'm going to encourage individuals to take a photo and to text it to me. Again, that's put out in the email and the flyers. So that way we can share it on social media so people can see that, hey, we're all doing this together. And then we have Denim Day, which is on April 26th, where employees are encouraged to wear denim. It could be a jean jacket or your favorite pair of jeans. And Denim Day is recognized specifically. There was a specific event that happened in 1998 when the Italian Supreme Court overturned the conviction of a driving instructor who raped an 18-year-old girl. And the reason why was because the victim, because she wore very tight jeans, they assumed that she had to have help, the perpetrator by removing the jeans. So therefore it wasn't rape, that it was consensual. So there was a huge outcry. There were a lot of protests for that. And so that day, from that point on, is known as Denim Day, to protest against the overturning of that conviction. So
we can wear denim to raise awareness.
Yes, and that specifically was on April 26th, and that's nationwide with all civilian organizations as well. So that's I think even worldwide, because that started in Italy. And then the best thing that you guys can look forward to is we're going to have a special guest speaker. His name is Edward Wilson. He is like an Army celebrity. He is a poet. It's called the spoken word. He verbally, it's like an artistic way of expressing himself verbally, and it's to bring awareness to sexual assault and prevent sexual assault. But he is very powerful in his speaking, and so he is going to be joining us virtually on Teams April 13th from 10:30 to 11:30. So it's an hour, but everybody's gonna have an opportunity. If they can't, be in person, it's gonna be on Teams. So I don't think anybody should miss it unless they can't make it that day. But again, all this information is gonna be put out via emails, and flyers will be posted around the installation.
You've had guest speakers come into Dugway before, and they've been really fascinating.
Yeah, so far, really glad that people are eager to come and spread the word. So I'm glad that we can have this person come out.
Do you plan to record that?
Yes, I will make a note to record it. I will ask John how to do that, because I know there's a way to do it. No, you can do it on Teams.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I'll make a note to make sure to record it. Yeah. Although Dugway has not had a sexual assault, we want to keep it that way, and we want to prevent it. And sexual assault, although it's not an incident that we've experienced yet that's been reported, sexual harassment is also a problem, and it could lead to sexual assault. So I work closely with the EEO if they're civilians that feel they're getting sexually harassed, that the EO and I work together to see if they want to move forward with a complaint or not. But again, prevention is key, so we want to educate the workforce on proper behavior at work, as far as what is inappropriate comments, what those are, behaviors. So a lot of my job also entails training. That's how we spread that awareness and prevention effort. And specifically what I push is it's called the bystander intervention. And that's where we teach employees how to intervene if they notice something inappropriate. Okay, now what do they do? Because it's one thing to say you notice it, but then what are your options? And so sometimes they don't think about that. And so it's good for them to start thinking about how they will intervene. So we promote 3 ways of intervention, which is being direct, approach the individual directly, or distract the individual, meaning get the person who's uncomfortable away from the situation. And there's different ways they can do that. Or they can delegate, meaning they get somebody else involved to intervene in that situation, whether that be a supervisor or a trusted coworker, or they can call me or Daryl. So, so most of my job is training, which is to prevent, hopefully, any serious incidents.
You're doing a lot of work in the preventative side, but it's not your job alone to make sure that we avoid these situations. We all have to contribute. We all have to be a part of it.
Yes, and that's the message I try to send, that it's, especially supervisors, I think they have a lot of influence, so I try to get supervisors involved. And now that Big Army is requiring supervisors to do the annual refresher training, they are now part of this effort to ensure that there's a positive work environment, that there is no hostile work environment, because that's where the problems start. And supervisors have a lot of influence on that.
If people have a concern, can they come to you and talk to you about it?
Absolutely, yep. And people have been, so I do appreciate that, and I just want to make sure that they trust me. And so they can call me anytime. And if I cannot handle that specific situation, depending on what it is, then I will make sure I connect them to the right resource.
Thank you so much for that information. That's going to wrap it up for the podcast. Thank you for listening to the Proving Ground podcast. Like and follow us on social media for more information on these and other topics. Feel free to reach out to us there with messages or comments. For a list of job openings, go to our website, www.army.mil/Dugway Garrison. Until next time, I'm John Zero, and you've been listening to the Proving Ground podcast.